So it's a pleasure to be here this afternoon as Mason Crosby officially retires as a Green Bay Packer. Mason was drafted by the Packers in the 6th round in the 2007 draft with 193rd overall pick. He was always reliable over his course of his 16 seasons with the Packers. He played in a franchise record 258 consecutive regular season games and 23 postseason contests. Mason is the Packers franchise leader in points scored, 1,918, field goals, 395, 50-yard field goals. 50 is the old, 60 is now the 50. He had 43 50-yard field goals and extra points, 733. His 1,939 points, he did have 21 for the Giants, so that got him a little higher. If you do the math, so that's 11th most in NFL history. Also, he was a great leader in the locker room and was well respected by his teammates. Just a few things that I'd like to share. Mason was our player rep for a number of years. That is obviously very much respected by his teammates and a great leader. He was also very clutch. I remember I always seems to be the Cowboys. Maybe it's many key field goals at important times. There's no doubt in my mind that he will be in the Packers Hall of Fame someday. That might be another decision, but I'm lobbying for it, so that's going to happen. He's also, I think, had a pro football worthy Hall of Fame career. So he just was a phenomenal player. And, the other thing that kind of showed to me the special connection that Mason had with our fans was when his career ended, the letter that you sent to the fans meant, I know, it's so much to them. So, and the other great thing about Mason, whenever I think of Mason, I think of Molly and he together. They were strong supporters. They were just, their contributions off the field were just as impactful as his on the field. The work they did for the Vince Lombardi Cancer Foundation down in the Milwaukee area was phenomenal, and then the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So congrats again to Mason on a remarkable career, and we wish you and your family the best. And you're sick of hearing from me, and now I'm going to turn it over to Mason. Mason?
Well, yeah, I've never done this with my family in the room. And I was joking that, I think I've probably only been in this room talking to the media about a handful of times, even in my career. So I'm usually in my locker, and I'm pushing my way to the locker room space as y'all are interviewing, it was Clay Matthews or Preston Smith, but I do appreciate y'all coming, and let me say a few words. So it means so much to me to be able to even be at this podium and to say that I am going to retire from professional football and to do it as a Green Bay Packer. It just, this organization, this community, my friends, my family, and something that I learned as a young man and a kid is the importance of what comes first, right? Faith, family, football. Vince Lombardi said it. My dad, my parents said it. That's kind of how I was raised. So in that vein, I want to talk about my faith first. Is that it took a little faith, whenever I was drafted here in 2007 to well, all right, let's look at the map. Where's Green Bay, Wisconsin? Let's make sure that I know where I'm headed, what's going on. I look at my brother here. He was probably the most excited in our whole family whenever I got that 920 call because he was a diehard Packers fan, since kindergarten? Since kindergarten. So he ran upstairs, put that cheese head on, and came running down. So that was 18 years ago, which is wild to think about. So faith through the highest of highs, and in this building, in this community, and through some very low moments. But because of this community, we have some friends here in the room too that are lifelong friends that we have from Green Bay. Couldn't have gotten through all of that without my faith. So always want to give all the glory and all the praise back to God because it's so important to me in my life and my journey here. So kind of the next aspect, family. Got a lot of family here, pretty much everybody. My dad and my mom, I want to say just thanks. Thanks for raising me the right way. That football was important, but doing things in the community and being a part of something and the relationships are what I'm going to carry with me moving forward. And again, y'all aren't getting rid of me just because I'm done playing football. I'm still around, and I'm still going to be doing a lot in our community. So Mom, Dad, thank you for raising me that way. Mom, I said this the other day, like you taught me and always said dream big. So I feel like I've done that, and I really appreciate y'all and the support that y'all have given. Ashley, Reese, just so many amazing memories growing up through the years, through this journey as a Green Bay Packer in the NFL. I really appreciate y'all and love y'all so much. Thank you for just being by my side, supporting me unconditionally, even whenever I maybe was a pain sometimes, a little intense at times, but I appreciate y'all. Kids, I think Christine is going to be our journalist, so she's like chomping at the bit down here to interview me, I believe. But we got Christine, Felicity, Charlotte, Elizabeth, and Nolan, our only boy. Sorry, buddy. We tried, man. We tried. But only gave you sisters. But y'all are the light of my life. I love you kids. I appreciate y'all so much. Even when it's wild in our house, I'm so thankful that I have all 5 of you to share this with and enjoy this with. And I can't do it. Molly, I love you, baby. I'm just so happy that you're here right now. We've been through so much. This journey has just been so special. I know. I didn't even know if I was going to go this deep into all this, but I love you, and I can't believe that we're here right now, getting to share this together. You supported me through so many things. In 2019, your battle with cancer, we had so much support and so many people. So I just can't say enough about what you mean. And then everybody in this room has been supported by you in some way. And you opened a home, at least 10 weeks a year, to family, people. If y'all didn't know it, people like to come to Lambeau Field. They like to come to games. So we had so many amazing moments, and I appreciate you. So, and then football. Football is nothing without fans as well. So my time here in Green Bay, I want to thank Mark Murphy. We came in together. So, and I guess going out at the same time. So it's kind of fitting here. So thank you, Mark. I want to thank the late Ted Thompson for drafting me and bringing me here. Coach Mike McCarthy for seeing something in me that even in those early days when there was some bumpy moments, but they let me learn, and I think I repaid that with being consistent on and off the field every opportunity I had. So I want to thank Goody, Coach LaFleur, Russ Ball, Andrew Brandt, who was my the first cap guy that I got to work with. So many amazing people in this organization, from the support staff, from the training room, equipment staff, strength staff, my guy Adam there, and sports nutrition and his staff. Couldn't do it without y'all. The facilities, we were at the Hall of Fame. We were up in the Hall of Fame before I came down here, and I hadn't been in there much. And just what this organization means and the people in this organization, how much pride they take in everything they do, that made it easy for me to come to work every day and make sure that I was taking care of my stuff and doing it at a high level. So this place is special, and I can't say enough. So thank you to the fans, to everybody that was a part of this journey, and I guess we can open it up for questions if anyone's got one. And no, kids, you can't ask. All right, any questions? Thanks. Yeah, I appreciate your Wes.
There's such an interesting, you look at all the accolades you had, the streak, the scoring record, obviously Super Bowl here. When you think back those 16 years here, what do you think you remember most in terms of your playing career and what you achieved?
How long do we have? Because I was thinking, I'm like, hey, okay, if I'm here for the day, it's 16 years, I don't know if I have time to thank everybody and talk about all the moments. But You know, whenever I reflect on my time in Green Bay, I think about my teammates and like the moments in the locker room, the moments of success. Like I'm up there in the Hall of Fame, and it just like stuff bringing back memories of when Richard Rodgers caught that Hail Mary, you know, in Detroit in 2015. And I don't know. I saw Brian's in the back. I don't know if I lost my helmet, but I remember Aaron throwing his helmet. I threw my helmet. Like everybody just like scattered to the wind. And those are the moments that like I hold on to and remember. It's the Dallas Cowboys kick in the playoffs. I mean, winning a Super Bowl. Like those are amazing moments. Like seeing my family, after those. I will say the media was always maybe even a little nicer sometimes. If I missed a kick, I'd go home, like especially as Nolan was getting a little older, and he's like, "Dad, what happened?" So I always, honestly, I wanted to be perfect for this crew, So, but there's so many moments, in this building, in this community that have affected and touched our lives. That, I can't. I'd be up here for days if I just kind of tried to run them down. But it is about that. It's about this community, about the teammates that I got to play alongside of. I'd be remiss if I didn't, thank Aaron for, getting me in position to score all those points, do all those things, all those guys. There's so many guys that are still near and dear friends in my life that without them, this is the ultimate team game. I wouldn't be standing up here today. So I'm just so grateful for the people that came before me, the guys that I got to play with, and trying to lead the way in a positive way for those guys in the future.
What did it mean that they stuck with you through some of those tough moments? Did you ever think they might not, and how did you always seem to bounce back?
Yeah, for sure. There were some moments where I'm like, well, this could be the end. I remember Molly and I sitting and talking, like, whatever happens, like if you go on a little bad run, But again, the people in this building are what matters and means the most to me, because I would get a phone call from a scout or from a coach or somebody, just encouraging and saying like, hey man, let's. We got you. Let's get this thing right. Because I think what's important in this building is they want their guys to do exceptionally well, and they're going to try to build it up. So I felt that. I'm so appreciative. Coach McCarthy, he saw that I was the type of guy that could get it sorted out, and I could go, on a good run, which I did for a long period of time. So, I'm just thankful for that opportunity to learn. I will say it was a little different too when I came in. Like 85% was a good year, so I mean, that was almost 20 years ago. It's changed a bit, and give these guys a lot of credit where the kicking game is going. I mean, there are guys, if you're under 90%, you feel like you're not having the best year, right? And I had escalators in my first contract that if I hit over 80%, that was I was getting a raise. So I thought that was always fascinating to be able to see that from where I started and to now where the kicking game is, and what the expectations are there is really fascinating.
You've done some amazing work on and off of the field. Can you speak to some of the charities you and your wife are involved in, like give a book campaign, Make a Wish?
Yeah. Yes, obviously, yeah. Molly is like she had a billboard at one point. I mean, she was the Give a Kid a Book campaign is such an awesome deal that Molly spearheaded as well. Yes, we were just I was very honored to get the Award of Excellence, Molly and I, last weekend at the Lombardi Cancer Foundation's event. So that charity is near and dear to our hearts. We worked with Make-A-Wish tirelessly, and I'm still working closely with Make-A-Wish. As I don't know if you've heard, I have a softball tournament coming up July 27th. The Border Brouhaha. So it's going to be fun down there in Beloit, and we are going to raise. She's still helping me down there. We're going to raise money for Make-A-Wish Wisconsin, and it's going to be awesome. Jordy Nelson's going to be there. We're going to have a bunch of other friends, former teammates, some celebrities hitting that ball around. So I think I'm feet and legs are going to be retired. I'm going to just hit golf balls and hit softballs. This is kind of where I'm headed. So if anyone wants to join, we would love to have you. Obviously, proceeds going to Make-A-Wish Wisconsin. That's so awesome. And my mom has an amazing foundation, the Locker, that we've supported for a long time, and that is still going strong. Vapor Ministries down in Alabama. So, I keep looking at Molly for, that's why you don't have family in these spaces. She's so encouraging, but I can't, I'm like, what am I saying to her? Yeah, so the organizations that we've been a part of, and again, like I said, just because I'm not playing for the Green Bay Packers anymore, this is family. This is home. Our kids were born here. They were all born from the same doctor, Dr. Wimburn, here in Green Bay, which I would have never imagined coming to Green Bay as straight out of college, that I'm going to have 5 kids in Green Bay, Wisconsin. So they are full-blown Wisconsinites and Wisconsin kids, and we love the place. We love this area, even though we're not here. And I said that in my post, like, even though we've moved away, like, Wisconsin and Green Bay is in our hearts, and it's home for us. So we will be back. I'm actually going to be back next weekend. So I'm around a lot, so you can't get rid of me. And I'm also part of the media now. So sorry, I'll ask myself the rest of the questions. We're all done. No. But yeah, I'm down there at the Fan Milwaukee. I probably won't talk to anyone else in this building again because they're going to be scared to say anything around me. But don't worry, I won't divulge. But yeah, that's been fun, and I think I had a great relationship with the media while I was playing as well, and I never shied away from talking whenever it wasn't a good game or was a tough situation, just as much as I talked to the media whenever it was awesome. So I appreciate the work that is put in, the hard effort, trying to find stories, trying to build it. So I'm seeing that other side, and so I do appreciate the effort and energy that the media has to do on a daily basis, especially covering Packers, 365. Y'all gotta do the hard work.
Do you always have that in terms of that kind of fortitude and how you handle that? Because 12 wasn't easy. I remember the press gazette, everything was going on there. Just where do you think that came from in terms of how you approached the adversity settings?
Yeah, I think in reflection, it's like I never, we talked about 2012 some when I was still playing, and it'd just be like, okay, you overcame and you've had success. But in reflection, it's just like that season was, it was a turning point in my career, if anything, too. And again, thankful that I was able to pull through it and do all of those things. But again, I talked about my parents and being raised and growing up in a household that you just keep pushing forward. You find things that you can be passionate about and work through. And my dad just is we just get it done. You just kind of keep being gritty, keep grinding, and nothing's too big, nothing's too too large to overcome. And I tell kids all the time now, if I get an opportunity to speak, I got to coach Nolan's 8th grade football team this last off season. Some of the beauties of being done playing are this past season, and just talking to them about adversity though too is sometimes it hits you in the face. You know what you're fighting against. And I also tell them success, because we had a really good team. I was don't rest on that successful moment, right? Because sometimes success can be harder to replicate and to hold on to and to fight against complacency. And I think that's what happened to me in 2012. I had a lot of success. We went from Super Bowl 2011, had a good year, kicked well, won a lot of games. And I think I just rested on that moment, right? Where it's I'm going to try to replicate, what I did, instead of how am I going to push forward and get better? So leaned into relationships, leaned into, my parents, my family, Molly, my brother and sister, good friends that just were hey, you got this. Just keep, staying true to the process, be who you are. And then I stopped worrying about misses. I stopped trying to make field goals. It was just do the work. And I give my good teammate and all-time great Charles Woodson some credit for that. Because in the end of the 2012 season, you asked about if I ever thought I was going to get cut. I definitely did at the end of that season. And Charles Woodson came up to me late in the year, and he was just dude, are you trying to make kicks? And I was well, yeah. And he's like, stop it. And I was wait, what? And he's don't try to make just be you, do your job, right? Do the process. And so I've told this story a bunch because it was such a simple thing that kind of got me out of the slump. It's that was the moment. And then I kind of finished the year making some kicks, made it like a 48-yarder at the end of the season in Lambeau, and it was just like, that was what I needed. Just stop trying to make field goals. Sometimes you just got to get hit with the simple stuff, right?
Congratulations. Amazing.
Thanks.
What is the feeling that Lambeau Field needs?
Oh, man, there's a lot of them. Scary at times, going out there whenever it's 5 degrees and blowing sideways wind. I talked about my first game this past week where it was like 45 degrees, raining and windy to start the game. And then the sun came out, and then the wind picked up and changed directions. And so I was like, that first game, I experienced almost everything except the 5-degree temperature. So I was like, all right, I can handle this. I can adjust and adapt. So it's such a special place, and it's why it's like Molly had to host so many people. Like, everyone wants to come here and be a part of it, and I felt pride in that, and being like going out there and defending Lambeau Field. Like, when we touch that grass, when you're honored, you have the privilege to put your feet on that ground. It's very important to go and put your best effort forward every time and try to be successful. And we did. I mean, there was a stretch of time there that we had teams that we just did not lose in Lambeau Field. And, that kind of pride and that energy was palpable. And, I'll just remember those moments. And it's changed. I got to walk through the new area, got to park underground, which I think I was promised that whenever I was drafted here 18 years ago, but it was beautiful. I've done such an awesome job, and it was so cool parking down there and seeing all the new spaces. So, and that's another thing. Credit to Mark Murphy and like his vision for what this is, and I'll remember that forever. Is just that everything is about the Green Bay Packers and about this community and making it the best it can be. I mean, they built Titletown. They do renovations and do things for the stadium whenever it isn't completely necessary, but it's like, let's just keep updating. Let's do this for the players and the coaches. So this place is special. And I played 3 games for the New York Giants, and great organization there as well. And a lot of similarities because they had a lot of support staff and guys that had been there 20, 30 years. So it kind of felt familiar, but what the Packers do, to support this community and build for the players is just second, they're second to none. I mean, it's exceptional. So I'll always remember that.
Even place kickers get injured once in a while. How do you go 258 games and be there every game?
Texas, yep. I was born in Texas and raised by tough people. So, and stubborn, I think. I'm pretty stubborn. But, I think that 258 and the most, playing the most regular season games in Packers history is, as I continue to reflect, is always going to be one that I really hold dear, to me. Because, again, this is the ultimate team game. I couldn't have scored points, couldn't have done any of that, all the other accolades without my teammates, without all of that. I couldn't have done this without the training staff, without the doctors, without support in the community. I had a team. There were times, honestly, where I couldn't get out of bed. I have friends here that they know the stories where I'm like, my hip is so locked up, my knee hurts so bad, all that. And I would call, and trainers would help me, or our support here in town would come to the house and just like get me going. And I just was headstrong. I just fought through it. And I said, the most important thing, like I said, was it's faith, family, football, but also whenever I came here, it was availability and accountability. And I just felt like that was what I could control all the time, is being available, being accountable to my teammates, being accountable to this organization and this community. And that was something that I leaned into. And the whole thing is like, keep it simple and stupid, right? Like, find a simple plan, think about it all the time, and just lean into that. Don't overcomplicate it. What's that? Oh, man, I appreciate that.
Everybody that played here, you're the franchise's all-time leading scorer.
Yeah, it's so special. And honestly, I'm still in that reflection period, and I haven't almost let myself look at all of those. But whenever they're read off, and it's just like, man, what an amazing situation that I could be standing up here talking about being the Packers all-time leading scorer. I got to play in all these games. I got to experience all these moments. I won a Super Bowl with this organization. This is Titletown. So for me, it's just like a kid growing up in Georgetown, Texas, and being drafted to this place 18 years ago. I couldn't have imagined what this moment would feel like. And it's definitely everything that I could have hoped for. And the fact that I get to say I'm gonna retire a Green Bay Packer. I'm gonna be able to take all those things with me. I think a lot of them are gonna be tough to be broken, but it's like accept the challenge. If someone's going to take that down, because that means the Packers are doing well. So I hope that's always known too, is that I am a culture, team, a relationship guy, and that's why Green Bay was perfect for me. I chose to stay here over and over again. I never went to free agency until my last year. I chose this place as it chose me, and God's plan was set in place a long time ago that this was where I was supposed to be, and I'm thankful for that every day. Oh, we got a tough one up front.
What did they think about being on the field?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I'll reference the Dallas game because that is a highlight. And I was on the field probably for 4 to 5 minutes, and that was the longest I had ever been on on an NFL field consistently. So my time on the field was usually running out, and I had about 20 to 30 seconds, and I had to get my job done quick. And then they're like, "Get on the side, like get out of here, get over there." But I always had the best seat in the house. So I think some of that is probably my favorite, Christine, was being able to see the game unfold from like the best spot in the stadium. I got to watch so many amazing moments. I got to be a part of so many amazing experiences that I was front row and center on right there. And then I got to cap off a few of them. I have a funny story. I didn't know if I was going to get to it, but like I trained myself to finish like off jobs or moments as all the time as a young kid. And it didn't just happen on the football field. Like I usually I'd help my dad with a project, and I would tend to, I'd come in at the end and I'd help him finish painting something, or I'd nail a few things in and I'd be like, "You're welcome." I did it. So I think from an early age, I was fine with coming in at the end and just like taking all the glory in that moment. So, oh, we got another one up front. Okay, one more up here, and then we'll see if anyone else has one.
Why did you want to be a kicker?
Oh gosh, y'all are asking all the tough questions. Y'all never ask me these things at home. We're just living life, right? I'm an Uber driver now. So, exactly, I don't get paid for that. That is what's funny, is right? It's like you play 17 years in the league, 16 years in Green Bay, and then at home, I'm just, I'm dad, and I drive to soccer practice, and I don't get paid for that, which I don't mind. I love that. Why did I become a kicker? Well, I couldn't run fast enough and jump high enough and tackle enough. I did make some tackles, but no, it's something I love. It's like why I love golf, right? I don't think you can ever perfect it. It's like you're always chasing like those moments of, man, I did that just right. And you're always chasing, and there's always a challenge that lies ahead. No day on the football field for me was ever the same. The wind was different. The field conditions were different. All those things, snap, hold, all the elements. And then again, for me, I think God made me a kicker too, because there's something in me that it takes a lot for me to trust and to feel. And so to have to trust my long snapper and the holder and the guys in front of me. I think God told me, he's like, you need to learn to trust. And so we're going to make you a kicker. You're going to do it for a long time, and you're going to have to trust some people. And sure enough, he was right. And I think it makes me a good dad. So, all right.
How do you feel about football now? If you could suit up, would you go out to play, or are you content with it?
I think it probably took me longer than it should have to realize that I was content and ready to start chasing other things. But because of putting my life into this and being in organized sports since I can remember, it's hard to let go. It's hard to say I'm done. And I needed other things that I was chasing and pursuing. before, and passions outside of, you know, doing fan. Like I needed a purpose. And so I feel like I found that. You know, it's funny, I do radio 2 hours a day, but you know, it's like having that structure. It's like I came into this building every day and they'd have the screen up and they'd say, you will be here in all these times. And I just kind of realized that, like, it's funny to say, but it was like with the kids and with our life and all those things, like they needed me. I was busy with them. Like football just kind of stopped being, you know, what I was chasing. Right. And so I heard Tiger Woods say something the other day. He's like, I'm not sure when I'm going to be tour ready or all that, because he isn't passionate about practicing anymore. And it takes a lot of effort and it takes a lot of energy to go out there, you know, what these guys do on a regular basis. And it would be not good on me to like expect to be on a field if I didn't put all that effort in. So for me, it was the practice, the time, the energy, the commitment. I was ready to be with my family, ready to start chasing other things, and that's what I'm doing. I'm chasing other things. I'm not playing football anymore, but I'm definitely not retired. I'm definitely not done with all this, and I plan to still try to have an impact in this communities in Wisconsin, communities now where we live down in Tennessee. You know, that drive and that desire will never end. And, you know, Molly and I will continue to pursue excellence in those spaces and in other, you know, business ventures. So, yeah, like I said, I'm talking on the radio. I have ownership in some soccer clubs around the world, which is a huge passion of mine and something that I'm going to, you know, continue diving deeper into. And then just looking at my kids here, like it's wild seeing them, because like, this is like our space. This is football space. And like every time I look at their faces, I'm just, it's just so awesome that I get to raise them up and live this life with